been a week. It's been a month. It's been a year. Give me a second here, folks. I'll wait for everybody to get in. I just want to get my hair back up. Now remember, if you want me to say hi and acknowledge that you're here, please say hello in the chat so that your name will be on the participants list and I can say hello. Yeah, we're in bun season, folks. Alrighty. Okay. Oh, I'm still looking, all over the place. All right, let me pop out the chat. Here we go. And hi, Gracie from the Florida Keys. Come visit me. We will eventually. We'll be going to Florida eventually, eh, dear? Oh, he must be out there. So, my goodness. I don't like ponytails because the elastic in that puts stress on my hair and my scalp, and my hair is getting thin, right? So, garden is almost completely in. The only thing left to put in is 4 bean beds. And I am hoping Howie will turn them over tomorrow night after work or Tuesday night after work. And then I will go out and I will do another video because tomorrow's video is on what we've put in the garden. Excuse me. And pardon me. And also I want to do a video of building the trellises for I'm not going to do the TP trellises anymore. They got knocked over last year. And I'm putting all pole beans in this year. So I'm going to do a smaller version of the squash trellises I made last year. Fingers crossed that it works. And I'm changing the beds where the beans are being planted. But other than the pole beans, everything is in the ground. Well, no, not quite. Well, everything's in the ground, right? Because I have some other projects I want to do. Are you nearby, darling? Nope, he's not nearby. The pool is erected and filled with water, but the heat pump is broke. Water got into something, wasn't completely properly drained, and something cracked. Now, the part that cracked is like $1,600. So there will be a video of Howie attempting to fix the heat pump on our pool, which is not yet completely paid for, right? So that will be a Life with the Wolfies video for sure. Now, I'm seeing 38 people here, so I'm just going to pop out the participants and start saying hello, hello. Hello, Black Rock, darling. Aloha, Seashell. Mahalo for always being here. Katrina, Babe, Celeste, Chandy. Am I saying it right? Is it Shandy or Chandy? Like, is it pronounced S-H? Diane, Becky, hi, Helen Nelms, International Cat, Just Mom, Lacey Black, Leona 59, Linda Willardson, Mary Lindsay, Minnesota Farmer's Wife. What is Minnesota's Farmer's Wife first name? And maybe I'll start to remember it. And PMS Pam and Sagawang. That's a cool name. I wish my name was like Sagawang. No, I had enough problems growing up with the nickname Leadbottom. Forget it. Chandi. Okay, Chandi, it is. Hey, Lori, how are you? Julie, wonderful. Now I'm going to say Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie. Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie. Minnesota Farmer's Wife, Julie. Why do I do that? Because when you do it 3 times, it helps cement it into your memory. Hi, Carla. Hey, not dangerous. How's it going? Because I don't want to call you crazy. because we're all just a little bit crazy. So, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, so what this means is I don't have a heater for my pool. And Howie, Mr. Polar Plunge, went in up to his waist and went, "Oh, not doing that, oh no." So, I have faith too, Diane. I have faith too that he can fix it. I mean, before he became a really good, highly trained body man, we used to call him the Master Butcher. Because but now he's just he is it's basically he's going to try and do it with fiberglass, and we'll see. Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Sorry. We are gardening this week, getting stuff in the ground. I only have 4 beds left, Mary. 4 beds left. Emerald's name is Becky, Pam. Just got done weeding and hilling my potatoes. Time for a break. Good idea, Julie. Grab your cuppa and join us. So there's some stuff coming up. You know what? I honestly think I have some timers, because either that or it's my medical, MJ. Because there's things I go, oh, I should do a video on that, and then I completely forget. I have to write crap down in big, bold letters. Yeah. What was it I wanted to do? Oh, I gotta tell you. You know how I boiled my noodles with the dehydrated cabbage and then just fried them? Well, last night for supper, Howie had grilled cheeses and onions because that's what he wanted, and I wanted noodles and cabbage. Well, I was sent a purple cabbage. So when I dehydrated it, they went almost black. They're so dark, right? And then when I went to boil the dehydrated purple cabbage with my spaghettini noodles, the water foamed up. You know how it foams up? And the foam was like indigo blue. And then the noodles came out purple. It was beautiful. I'm going to have to figure out a meal. So I'm going to figure out a meal around the purple noodles and cabbage for y'all. That's a fart waiting to happen. Always. Oh. Howie sleeps mostly in the motorhome now. He sleeps out there at night, and that means I don't have to get up in the morning. He doesn't every night, just usually on the weekends. But as the weather heats up, which it's doing at night now, he prefers to have air conditioning on hand. Plan to plant sweet corn, then garden will be all in. Oh, awesome, Julie. Just got back from a walk, 27 degrees in northern Alberta. Holy lifting. Really, Mom? That's how far away are you from the fires, and how are the fires, the fires in Alberta, all these wildfires? I've never even heard, I've heard of the BC mountain range and stuff having fires and stuff, but I've never heard of Alberta having fires. It's just, it puzzles me greatly. I know. And think about it. If you make it with you add a sour cream sauce or something and then when I added the orange and the red and the yellow peppers, it was it was wonderful. But I'm gonna try a purple dish really soon. I'm gonna save the rest of that cabbage for a purple dish. 76 degrees right now. Well, I think the temperature is just perfect right now, except for the black flies. And we're going to be dispatching our 4 meat birds soon. Fires are getting better. I live where the big fire happened in Fort McMurray 5 or 6 years back now. Wow. So, yeah, okay. I remember that now that you mention it. 80 in Pittsburgh. Hey, Kathy. Ponder this. I did not know you're from Southern Indiana. About 5 hours from Edmonton. Okay, 79 degrees Fahrenheit in Mercer, PA. Hey, Angie, did I send it to you on? How did you get in? Because I was just realizing you weren't here when you said hi. So, Blue Eddy came through with my charge station, my power station, and the solar panels. And I've already done an unboxing video. That's going to be for Tuesday. And then I put it through its paces. Now, apparently you're not supposed to let them die, right? Like go right down to nothing. So Howie's having difficulties charging it from the solar panels right now. So we're working. That's a kink I didn't know, right? But I will tell you, it's a good little power station. So far, so good. But there will be an unboxing probably on Tuesday. And then later in the week, you're going to, or our half acre homestead is going to get the putting it through its paces video. Now, there is no discount coupon for these because apparently they're giving the best price you can. And if you want a discount, you got to spend over $1,000 to get a $5 discount. So I'm not even going to mention that in the video because I'm just a little bit more insulted than I thought I was. But it's okay. It's okay. What else is going on? I'm going to be slowing down on the product video soon. I may be doing one more. There's the Blue Eddy, and then I may be doing one more London Sunshine one, which will probably be a giveaway. But after that, I'm not going to be doing any more giveaways. I don't think. I don't know. It all depends on my mood. But this September, no, it'll be 14 years this September that I've been on YouTube. So we may do something for that. Oh, wow. I did send it to you in Messenger. Somerset, PA. That's a name of a place in England. So, yeah. Did I tell you about the big porcupine? Porcupine ran up a tree. Gracie, I called her back just in time for it to get up the tree. I don't know. This thing looked like... Are they good eating? I think they're protected because they are such good eating. I'm going to have to look that up. Because if they're edible, that thing ain't going to last long in my backyard. You feel me? So, Angie Pangie! Sorry. How does your garden grow? How's your gardening going, Ange? I ended up buying 20 tomato... See, look I'm asking it as you're typing it. We're still connected always. I ended up buying tomato plants today by accident. 20 tomato plants. I meant to buy some pepper plants. Beefsteak, Roma, yellow cherry, and early girls. Don't save seeds then. Because you'll have just some kind of weird tomato plant. Ruth, hi. I'm doing really well. I am doing really well. Somebody said that when we were talking about the net zero, thank you for bringing that up, Shell, that I could make those muslin bags. Not like that. Not like that. Those muslin bags, they stretch, they're soft, they're lightweight. And my brother and sister-in-law and niece came to visit yesterday. So I shared the 3 bags among us 3 girls, right? And she said, oh, that's really cool. And I said, well, I just want to, whenever I pull it out of my purse, I'll remember that we all have one. And I'll think of you. She said, I never thought of that. That's lovely. So, yep, my garden is in along with some beautiful flowers, new grass. Yeah, I've got to put, planted a tree. I have looked everywhere for an apricot tree. Now, I'm going to order one in January if I can. I'm going to give this tree one more year. I can't take it down. I can't. You should see it when it bloomed one year. It was just like, it looked like Queen Anne's lace. The whole tree was like a bow of Queen Anne's lace. Oh, porcupine's good? Oh, good. Well, someone said the bags are really expensive, but I mean, everything in this is quality and it's built to last. And somebody also mentioned I should try those stretch and seal things over ceramic bowls, not metal. That's something that has a lip. So I will give them another go. Has anyone used Sunday lawn products? I'm going to apply my first treatment today. I don't put anything on my lawn. I don't grow a lawn. You know why? Because it's a waste of growing space. I would rather everything grows wild around here, right? Yes, Howie has to whippersnip paths and whippersnip up by the, up on the hill and whippersnip around the pool and all that stuff. But for the most part, and he only does that like 3 times a year from spring to fall. But for the most part, everything here grows wild. Everything is organic. I've got yarrow growing. Ooh, I should start my my marshmallow plants. We've got yarrow, marshmallow, comfrey, coltsfoot, burdock, plantain, all of that stuff growing wild, what people would call weeds. And we just let them grow wild. We let them grow wild. Why? Bees? Even the dandelions, we leave them go until, in between snippings for the bees. Bees and medicine. Even the dandelions are medicine. You know what I mean? Hey, Matthew! How's it going? I found 5 little baby peaches on my tree. It's only its 3rd year. I was wondering whether or not I'm supposed to remove them or can I leave them and pray? Leave them and pray! They're trying. Give them a chance. You know what I mean? A good yarrow tea helps a bellyache. Yeah. Oh, they didn't come because on Friday night he either had an attack of allergies or he got a cold, but he was not sleeping well because his nose was so plugged. And he really had a bad night. And then traveling didn't seem like a good idea when he hadn't slept all night. So I totally get that. But pretty soon, like this coming weekend, I'm going to be at the races. Unless we don't butcher our chickens this week. If I do go to the races, if we haven't dispatched the meat birds this week, then I'm probably going to just take the car and go out to the races for the day. They aren't things I want in my yard. I have flowering trees and berry bushes for the bees. Well, I just, yeah, I don't drink wine. I've never liked it. I don't know why I used to drink it, just for the hell of drinking it. But no, I'm not a big fan of wine. And my aunt Audrey made some of the driest dandelion wine I ever tasted. Just finished reading a book last night called Forget the Pharmacy, Grow Your Own Medicine. A lot of what you mentioned growing wild. Yeah. Why wouldn't I let that stuff grow wild? And there's more out there that I haven't even identified yet. Right? I'm pretty sure I got high bush cranberries out there somewhere. Right? So if I get another apricot tree, we are planning on getting a few these trees on the other side out across the driveway from the bay window. There's 3 poplar and a spruce that have to come down, or we're going to get a summer storm and they're going to land right on my roof, my pear tree and everything. Right? So Howie says he has something in the works for getting those trees down, and then I'm going to see if somehow before fall I can afford to rent a digger, and we're going to dig up and move at least 3 of my apple trees. One is fully in blossom right now, and I'm leaving it alone. Just going to leave it alone. But the other ones, if they didn't blossom, then they could be moved. I would like them on the other side of the driveway. And then what I would do is I would just go from behind the apple trees and stretch some electric fence so that the bear don't come anywhere near my pear tree. I haven't drank any alcohol in almost 4 years now, but it could be something worth thinking about for you, of course. But other people could be a barter thing. Absolutely. Hey, Joe Mama, how are you doing today, sweetheart? I got a fly or something landing, a mosquito or something? Yeah, the mosquitoes are coming out. We have most of our garden planted, just a few more plants to buy and plant. It's going to be a great year. God, from your mouth to God's ears, darling. sitting down on the garden bench works great, or I can flip it over and kneel on it. I can't kneel on anything. Like I can, but it's extremely painful for me to get back up. And then, like, I felt really stiff this morning, right? I'm thinking, or when I went to bed last night, I was like, oh my God, maybe I overdid it on Friday. So I took it fairly easy yesterday. I did some planting and stuff like that. And my 3 tomato plants have tons of flowers. Awesome. Awesome. Pretty good. Pretty day. Got 5 tomato plants last night. Ah, awesome, Joe Mama. Best book on useful and well-informed herbal medicine that you can find in and around your home. I've used this book and gifted it. Which one is that? I'm not sure I understand. The book I use, it's not in here. It's on my bookshelf. Here's how I got started in herbal. In grade 10 in high school. This is where the roots started. Okay? Because I went from, if you got a cough or a cold, honey and a hot toddy when I was a little kid, to penicillin and over-the-counter drugs coming out the yin-yang from the time I was 10 until now. In the last 40 years, over-the-counter drugs have exploded. So, natural healing wisdom and know-how, useful practices, recipes, formulas for a lifetime of health. Oh, that's awesome, Chandi. That's awesome. I like Penelope Odie's Complete Medicinal Herbal. What happened is when I was in grade 10, I went to the library to find a book because I've always been a reader. I went to the library to get a book, to look for a book. And they had this big paperback rack in just as you're coming in. And I saw this big thick paperback called Clan of the Cave Bear. And I read the back and I went, ooh, that sounds really interesting. I lucked in on the very first book. Yes, Howie's working on charging it solarly. There's going to be an unboxing video on Tuesday, and then there's going to be putting it through its paces later on in the week. Hey, Claire, how are you, darling? So I got this book, Clan of the Cave Bear. And except for the painted caves, which I can't get through, which is the final book so far, I can't get through without falling asleep. But I started reading Clan of the Cave Bear, and it was so focused on, like, this is prehistoric man, right? And all the things that plants and berries and all of these things are used for. And it dawned on me, that's the first time in my life I went, that's right. Pharmaceuticals had to get their information from somewhere. Medicine, this is medicine before pharmaceuticals. And that was what got me on the journey of studying, of looking into that stuff. I know. Did you make it through, Lacey, did you make it through the painted caves? Because right? Because there was just so much, like everything right up to that book was great. I introduced my sister from North Bay to your channel. She loved watching Gracie. Well, now here's another thing. I've heard, or YouTube as sent me some kind of interview thing that says why you should have a channel dedicated to shorts. Now, that sounds a lot like TikTok and Instagram and all that, and YouTube's trying to capitalize in on that, but I don't see why not, right? So I'm thinking, because everybody's been asking for a Gracie channel, that maybe I will make a Gracie channel, and it'll be mostly shorts, but there are some other videos, right? Hey, Lazarek, how are you, darling? My little olive tree that's on my balcony has a bunch of baby olives on it. Thanks for the encouragement to plant. You are the best. Oh, I'm glad, Annie. You love the shorts. Well, just remember, folks, that, the funnel we've been pushed into for the last 150 years is now pushing us to have a very short attention span. And yes, the shorts are great for like Gracie and stuff. But when it comes to information, I'm not going to short you or me on doing a proper video. What was that? What did I see? Anyway, I just saw something I'd like to try. I did, but it was tough because for some reason it kind of got boring after a while. I did make it through, and that was what I was like, maybe 25. Okay. Hey, Linda! How's it going, sweetheart? How's your mom? How's your mom doing? No. It's not necessarily taking on another channel. It's just compiling my shorts into a channel, right? I already have like 5 channels on YouTube. You guys only see 3 of them, right? My 2-year-old grandson had a seizure yesterday at the grocery store with my son and is at the hospital. 40-minute seizure, so been very rough. I'm all over the place. Oh my God. Oh, well, we'll make sure we, add, everybody who shows up here and everybody in the world is all in the subject of our prayers at the end. We will be praying, absolutely. It was really boring. The Painted Caves was really boring. Excuse me. I have to go behind the fan. It's almost supper time. It's driving me nuts. I can hear my pool. It's chlorinated. The steps are in it, but it's too cold. We don't have a heater. That's a really long seizure. Has he had any shots recently? Like if think about all the things because if he's never had a seizure before, has he ever had one before? And if he's never had a seizure before, look at what has changed in his environment, medically, food-wise, even so much as the paint in your house. Okay? Check those things. Make sure you think about what led up to that. How is your mom, Linda? Oh, little improvement, but without another knee replacement, the sepsis will not leave her body. Right now, her knee is causing so much pain. So they've got to kill the infection before they can replace her knee. No shots. I worried about that. They said it's normal if they have a high fever, but this is 40 minutes they worried about. Okay. Well, keep us posted, eh? Keep us posted on that. Lazarek, I don't want to call you Lazarek. Give me a name, will you? Like even a nickname. I don't care, but I don't like calling a person Lazarek Homestead. Right? Lee Lazarek. Lovely. There it is. They are giving her pain meds. Well, I hope they're giving her stuff to clear up the infection. Hello, Lee. Welcome. Right. So, we're having spaghetti tonight. Howie and I have taken on a new Brit box. It's a part of our Amazon Prime subscription called DCI Banks. I'm really enjoying it too. Antibiotics, good. As long she's probably on some really hard hitting IV antibiotics. I didn't go, Claire. That was last weekend, and I didn't go. And there was no race this weekend. It's next weekend. So if we don't dispatch the 4 meat birds and get them into freezer camp, because I wasn't expecting to dispatch birds until September. April, May, June, July. You know, August at the very latest, right? Or earliest, or latest. But man, these things got big so fast that they need to go in the freezer. So that has to be done before I feel comfortable going away for the weekend. The four other ones, the little ones, they're fine, you know. But these big ones, they're just not going to make it. I mean, I can't leave the greenhouse door open while we're gone. And I can't, they need air, cross air. I open that door every day and close it every night. You want a bird. I want a bird. Have a bird. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. I've got a lot of editing to do. Well, not really a lot of editing to do. Oh, right, okay. I'm going to make a purple noodle dish. I know that much. Hey, Timothy, how are you, darling? So, Howie's fixed the pool, but now he has to fix the heat pump on it. God willing, he can. Excuse me, I have to fix my teeth. So now I haven't decided whether I'm going to can them or freeze them. If I freeze them, I'll have to think about that. I'll have to think about that. Thank you. I have a lot of fans, but they're all over the house. They're all over the house. Fingers crossed how he can fix the pool. At the Mennonite market yesterday, they wanted $8 for a head of cauliflower. Yep. Yep. I keep saying I'm getting older and we can't do the things we used to do, but our garden just keeps expanding. Oh, well, no, you're not fans. You're YouTube family. You guys are my internet family. Hey, Wingard. Is it Weingard? That sounds like a very, I can't, see, I've got some timers. I'm thinking of like Iceland and not Iceland, Iceland and Switzerland and all that. It's good to see you too, honey. Yeah, that is expensive. Wingard, our Swedish farm. There you go. Swedish. There you go. I knew I had something in there. But so because Rebecca sent me another care package. You can't tell me there's a cauliflower shortage. There's no excuse for it to be that much. Yeah, everybody is just, there's no end in sight to the greed that's going to come because people are used to getting prices and they do think they're going to be able to charge the same prices even though things are becoming plentiful again. It's the season, right? So don't buy it. Don't buy it. Period. Like I said, we're getting older, but our garden's getting bigger. Rebecca sent me two felt round beds that are about, 8 inches, 10 inches deep. And I was thinking, right? Because I was only going to plant one bed of celery, right? Good for you, Joe. But then Rebecca sent me these beds. So, oh, and the roots on the bottom. Yes, I am not starting plants a day before February 25th this year. Hold me to it. My husband is cleaning fish right now from his fresh catch today. Ooh, Joanna, what did he get? Trout's my favorite. Um, so I went outside and I filled one bed, and then Howie filled the other. And I planted celery in them. But I still had enough for an actual bed. So because I planted my peppers in with my leeks and onions, I had 3 extra beds. Because there was 3 beds for peppers, right? So I'm telling you folks, bluegill and red deer, they're panfish. Is that because they lay flat? Hey, International Cat, it's insane and it's really sad. It is. And they're going to find, this is the thing we've been saying all along, right? The more we do for ourselves, the less we rely on the system. The less we rely on the system, the better the system will get. Why? Because they want us back. So I don't even know if I bought anything at the farmer's market this year other than a Christmas tree, you know? I love that I am honored being a part of the family. Well, of course. I don't know. When it comes to canning fish, I have canned salmon and I have canned trout. Trout, when you can trout, comes out tasting like pink salmon. Reminds me of salmon. It's really good. But we haven't had time for fishing in quite some time. I'd like to do that. Maybe one of these weekends in between races, Howie and I will go fishing. Because I love fishing. I love fishing. So all of the gardens in except for the 4 pole bean beds. And I've planted 2 boxes of carrots. I got to tell you this story, guys. Hey, Mindy! How's it going, sweetheart? You know how when I planted my parsnips last year, I laid them out on paper and then I soaked them over and I rolled them up and soaked them overnight and I just unrolled the paper into the garden? Don't ever use boxed Kleenex for that. It was a nightmare. It took me a half an hour to unroll the ones I could unroll, and the ones I couldn't, I just started ripping off little chunks and dropping it in the carrot bed. Don't use Kleenex. Use toilet paper, okay? Fishing's a family event for us. Do you get a lot of bugs on your plants? Who, me? No. Touching wood. No. Because the only thing I don't grow is potatoes. And I have a lot of birds that live around my house. We encourage the birds. Oh, and I always thought that my favorite bird was a junco. It's not called a junco. It's a Phoebe flycatcher. And I always thought it was going, we miss. And it's not. It's going, Phoebe. So they usually put a nest up in the peak of my roof over here and under the eaves over there in the back and up in the corner of the peak over there and peak over there. I'm really blessed that because my yard is so organic and natural, I really don't have a huge problem with bugs. My representative in Washington called me to ask me about gas stoves. All I did was tell him, what else can you use gas for? Well, I mean, I wanted to do that with the carrots, right? But I used the wrong paper. I mean, it rolled up really well. It looked like it was going to work really well until I went out. It had already started to dissolve. Algae in pool because of birds. Why would I have algae in my pool because of birds? We never seem to have... The only time I ever had an algae problem was when I washed my hair once and dove into the pool to rinse it. And Howie gave me right royal shit when the pool went green a couple of days later. He said, phosphates, Bev. Now we got to buy algicide. No, all we ever use in our pool is chlorine, and we keep it to an absolute minimum because living in Toronto as a child and Peterborough as part of my adulthood has made my body very sensitive to chlorine. I haven't seen a giant hornworm since I was a kid. I get one of them every once in a while, and I feed it to the chickens when I got chickens. I used to find them everywhere. Tomato plants were. Yeah. Oh, and all my baby asparagus are starting to come up, and every time I walk out to the garden, I'm going snap, snap, because they're not even. They're like maybe this thick, some of them, and some of them might be twice that thick. But I've been just snapping the heads off as I'm walking to the garden and going pop, 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 having me a fresh little snack. I can't wait till those start becoming harvestable. See, my whole point would be like, I would like to have a lot of perennial food growth here. I want to plant blueberry plants. I want to plant thornless blackberries, because I got blackberries and raspberries growing all over the place, but they're wild, and I can't get to them because they're so... Can you pupate those worms? I don't know. I have no idea. I've killed 10 or 15 of them in the last 2 days. The small, tender ones are the best. So I've been like, every time I go out there, it's like 4 or 5 of them. Pop, 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 in my mouth. They go crunch, 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 crunch. It's like Briar and the peas when he was little. But I'm really looking forward to that. I am going to try and get another apricot tree. I'm gonna order it in January to have it here in time. It's to let it go into a cocoon, and then whatever it comes out to be. I don't know if that's what they do. So I wouldn't know. I really wouldn't know. So I am going to try, but I'm telling you, my iris beds, like Nancy brought me some iris bulbs once, and she planted them, and I get 3 or 4 plants every year. This year, they spread to the size of a baby bathtub almost. So if I'm actually going to dig them up in the fall and place them elsewhere, because I want to put the other apricot tree there. So, Ribes, black currant specifically, love wet feet if you have a place with lots of water. Our best fruit crop. I grow black currants. Apparently, in a lot of the states, they're banned as invasive or something. But I grow black currants. I'm not fond of red currants or gooseberries, but I love my black currants. I love black currant jelly. Black currant blueberry jelly is my absolute favorite, next to rhubarb raspberry. Apple cider vinegar, Dawn soap in a pan to spray for tomatoes. Okay, Claire, you need to clarify that apple cider vinegar and Dawn regular dish soap. Do not do it with platinum. It will kill the plant. I've tried it. Okay? Just saying. That was my experience. That was my experience. Anyway, I want to plant some black berries, some raspberries, and if we can save those apple trees and get another apricot tree, I'm not going to buy any more fruit trees. I'll just, grow blackberries and raspberries, blueberries, and black currants. Those are my favorite berries for making jams, right? I'm not a huge strawberry fan. Howie is. So as soon as the strawberries start showing up at the farmers markets, he'll be bringing home a flat for me to make. I don't have rhubarb, but you know what I found out? That the house that Melanie and Arthur just bought has rhubarb. And she said there's enough rhubarb for everybody. So she was hoping to bring me some roots this week. But I'm going to be hopefully getting some rhubarb from her soon. But if not, I will at least get some rhubarb roots from her this summer and find a place for them in the backyard, probably over where my walking onions are. And I will also, I want to plant, I should write this stuff down because I brain fart all the time. I want to plant rhubarb, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries. Yeah, that's all I want for berries. That's all I want for berries. And then an apricot tree. And if we can move my apple trees, because when I went with Howie to drive him to the racetrack to pick up the coach last Sunday, I stopped at an arborist, not an arborist, but like a garden center, an outdoor garden center, and they wanted $155 for an apple tree that was only as high as my ear. I'm like, I'm not paying that. I didn't even pay that for an apricot tree. You know what I mean? My mother's rhubarb and froze it on Mother's Day. Oh, well, there you go. But I want to get rhubarb plants so that next year, if I have raspberries to harvest and rhubarb, I want to juice the rhubarb, because I found a lot of people like uber sweet jam, like strawberry jam. I'm not a sweet jam person. I like sweet jam with zip. That's why I like, blueberry's too sweet, but blueberry blackcurrant is really delicious. Raspberry's too sweet, but raspberry rhubarb is really good. I just don't want the rhubarb flesh in there, so I'll just put it through my Omega juicer and do it that way. Oh yeah, I get black currants every year, and blackberries and raspberries grow wild here. I just don't, they grow wild all around my back garden. I just can't get to them because it's on a hill. But as we fill that ravine, I'm going to, as we fill that ravine, I'm going to plant I'm going to plant rows, a couple of rows of blackberries, canes, and a couple of rows of raspberry canes on the other side, and then maybe some blueberry. It's going to be mostly berries, but I've got to keep the bears away this year. I have to put up an electric fence this year, or I'm never going to be able to grow any of that stuff and have it hit my freezer or my shelves. You know what I mean? I don't know what to do with the rhubarb. My mom planted it many years ago, and we thought it was going to seed. Going to seed was bad. No, let it go to seed. But the thing is rhubarb, if you read, Little House on the Prairie and stuff, and they say pie plant, that's what rhubarb is. They call it a pie plant because it's good for pie. It's really good for pie, especially with strawberries. But by George, it's sour. You really got to lay the sugar to it. You're not supposed to let them flower or seed. Yeah, mine are in flower right now too, my black currants. I didn't know that, International Pat. I put in 7 baby rhubarbs 3 years ago. Best decision ever. Absolutely love it. Well, there was folks who bought a house down the highway, and they had a little rhubarb patch out front. And what he did was he broke it all up and made a great big rhubarb garden and then put a sign up, rhubarb. And he sells starts too, I think. So, but I'd like to get some from Melanie's and Arthur's new house garden. Isn't that awesome? Flowers is called the plant bulb, but you can see you can eat the rhubarb. Huh. All right. Well, listen, folks, we've been here almost an hour, and as much as I have loved and enjoyed the visit, I have supper to get on the hob, and I'd be done for the rest of the day. I have one more video to edit, I think, but that will give me, the day off tomorrow if I do that. Not that I ever take a day off. It just means, no, tomorrow's Monday. It doesn't matter. My schedule it'll be written down in the schedule. Yeah, you can always cut the flowers off, right? Now, for all those who care, hi Doris. For all those who care to, we're gonna close with some spiritual nourishment. This is a non-denominational thing. If you have a faith, join. Because all faiths, all wonderful faiths, are rooted in love and peace, aren't they? Because God is all good all the time, right? So doesn't matter your concept of God. Your concept of your higher power can be whatever you want it to be, and mine is mine. But we will meet in the middle. We will join hearts and hands here, and we will meet in the middle where all of our faiths congregate in the light of God's love, right? So for all those who care to, please help me close with some spiritual nourishment. Let's do some deep breathing. And if you don't want to stay, that's fine too. There is no judgment here ever. Okay? For all those who care to, let's do some deep breathing. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Imagine crystal clear air going into your lungs and any funk from the week coming out. Let's breathe in light and breathe out negativity. Hey, God, creator and source of all, thank you for bringing us together, God. It's a wonderful time of year. Gardens are being planted and people are sharing knowledge, and we're all doing that little bit extra to, just be a little more self-sufficient. Those of us that can and those of us that can't, we have other ways. There's people that are struggling though, God. Some people are, dealing with very ill parents or spouses or ill health themselves. Our friend Sherry Leach is in the hospital. Linda Bop's mom is in the hospital. Martin Rios is going through some really, really, really intensive chemotherapy out in California. There's people that are sad and lonely and hurting and angry and frustrated and in pain and neglected or, treated poorly by those that they love. God, we just lift all of these people up to you so that the light of your love can shine on them the fiercest, because we already carry your light, God. We know you fill us full of the light of your love every day. And when we walk forward, that shines from us, right? The love shines. So all of these people, God, who need the extra help, we lift them up to you so that you may love on them and shine on them and bring them some peace from whatever trouble is tormenting them at the moment. Thank you, God, for bringing us together. Thank you for the strength it's taken Howie and I to fix the pool and get the garden in. Thank you, God, for another day on my own 2 feet. Amen. And of course, for my family and my Bubba. This is the Mrs. Wolfie from Life with the Wolfies saying, doesn't matter how crappy things can get or how crappy things people say it's going to get or how bad people say it's going to get. That's not the mindset that we need to live in. Change lanes. Lean into the everlasting love of God, and know that love or faith and fear cannot coexist simultaneously in our hearts. So we have to pick a side. Make it faith, folks. Fear is a useless, wasted emotion that makes us do stupid things and say stupid things. Breathe, wait, and respond with love. Take care. God bless. Know that you are loved. Just because I can't see you doesn't mean I can't love you.